Have you ever noticed that your favorite AI tool is, well, incredibly smart about the past, but kind of clueless about what happened 5 minutes ago? Yeah. Well, behind the scenes, there's a massive, high-stakes race going on to change that forever, to give AI the superpower of real-time data.
It's a really simple question, right? But the answer? Oh, it's mind-blowingly complex. How do we actually connect these powerful models to the live, constantly changing data that runs our businesses, our apps, our entire lives? That is the billion-dollar problem we're going to unpack today.
To solve that problem, you really have to understand the battlefield. And in the AI world, that battlefield is data. And let me tell you, 2025 was a year of absolute frenzy. Companies weren't just investing, they were basically going to war to control the flow of information. Things really started to heat up when Databricks, one of the hottest data companies out there, dropped a staggering $1 billion to buy a company called Neon. Neon specializes in PostgreSQL, which is a hugely popular database system that companies everywhere rely on. And believe me, that was just the opening shot.
Not to be outdone, their big rival Snowflake immediately turned around and snapped up another Postgres company, Crunchy Data, for a cool $250 million. The message was loud and clear. If you want to be a player in the age of AI, you have to own the data source.
And just to put a massive exclamation point on all of this, Databricks then raised an astronomical $4 billion funding round in 2025. All this cash, all these buyouts, it was all focused on one single thing: getting data ready for AI.
Okay, so why? Why this multi-billion-dollar obsession with databases? Well, it all comes down to a fundamental weakness of the large language models we use every single day. They're trained on a snapshot of the past. So they're incredibly knowledgeable, but their knowledge is, well, it's stale.
And this right here is the core of the problem. The AI knows what the world looked like when it was trained, maybe a year ago. But your company's database, it knows your inventory levels right now. It knows what a customer just bought 2 seconds ago. So the big question is, how do you plug the brain of the AI into the live nervous system of your data?
Okay, let's dive into this, because this is where everything changed in 2025. The whole industry needed a missing piece, like a universal plug that could connect any AI to any database. And they got one. It's called MCP.
MCP stands for Model Context Protocol, but honestly, just think of it like a universal translator. Before MCP, if you wanted to connect an AI to a database, it was a total mess of custom code for every single combination. With MCP, they can all finally speak the same language.
So how does it work? It's actually pretty simple. You've got 3 steps. First, the AI has a question. Something like, hey, how many blue widgets do we have in stock for this customer's order? The MCP server, acting as the middleman, translates that plain English into a formal database query, like SQL. Then, the database spits out the answer, and MCP sends it right back to the AI in a format it gets. It's clean, it's simple, and it's universal.
I absolutely love this quote from researcher Andy Pavlo. MCP is that trusted middleman. It's like the accountant making sure all the numbers add up so the creative, sometimes unpredictable AI and the superliteral database can finally trust each other and get to work.
And the adoption of this thing, it was immediate and just explosive. As soon as OpenAI said they were supporting it, everybody jumped on board. Snowflake, MongoDB, Oracle, Microsoft, Google, you name it. It was a tidal wave. In just a few months, MGP became the industry standard. But, and this is a huge but, connecting AI directly to our most critical data introduces a terrifying new problem. See, it's one thing to let an AI write an email for you. It's a completely different thing to give it the keys to your entire company database. So what happens when this goes wrong?
And this slide just illustrates the danger perfectly. An unmonitored AI agent, maybe trying to clean up a test entry, could accidentally write the command delete star from users. Without a guardrail, without something to stop it, your entire user list is just gone in a millisecond. This is the risk of what the source material calls agents going wild all up in your database.
The problem is, the technology is moving way faster than the safety protocols. Most of these new MCP servers are just simple translators. They don't have the deep intelligence to know if a request is malicious or just catastrophically dumb. And relying on busy developers to perfectly implement every single safety check, well, as the source says, if you rely on humans to do the right thing, bad things will happen.
So where does this all leave us?
We've seen the billion-dollar gold rush for data, this really elegant solution with MCP, and the scary new risks that come along with it. All of this is setting the stage for the next era of AI, an agentic era.
So here's what you really need to take away from all this. First, expect the AI tools you use every day to get way better at knowing what's happening right now. Second, the next great frontier in AI isn't about making the models bigger or smarter. It's about building the guardrails to make them safer. And finally, that clear line that used to exist between an AI app and a core database, yeah, it's basically gone.
Which leaves us with the one big, looming question for the future. We are handing the keys to our most valuable digital kingdoms over to these AI agents. The race is on to build the technology, for sure. But who? Who is going to build the locks, the alarms, and the security systems to keep it all safe?
Thanks for tuning in. Disclaimer, this explainer was generated with Google's Notebook LM by Vin Yuan at VinNX based on research.